Hi, I'm Chris Barker from MusicRadar.com. We're here at the Anaheim Namm Show 2012. I'm here with Tim Chandler, who's the product manager for the Nektar controller, which is one of the most anticipated products of the show, we have to say, and he's going to take us through a few of the features. So I'll hand you over to Tim.
Hey guys, I'm really excited to show this product to you. It's been a long time in development, but we finally got it together. The inspiration behind Panorama was because we didn't really feel there was a controller out there that did the job that a real controller should. We've been showing it at the show by taking a laptop, running Reason 6, shutting the laptop down, putting it in a desk and just leaving the control on standby. And so many people come up who haven't seen it before and say, hey man, is that a hardware sim for, what's going on here, man, this is wicked. It's honestly probably the first time I've seen a MIDI controller, which is just a MIDI controller, sit there or standalone on a bench and running like that. But it is that well integrated with Reason that we're confident enough to do that. I'll just show you a few things on the Reason compatibility. There's 4 basic modes to the controls. Internal mode is where it becomes a generic controller, so you can use it with any DAW at all. But the specific Reason stuff is on these 3 modes. We'll start with transport mode. Now, the idea behind this is that when you're recording and you're producing, you need to keep the creative flow going. You don't want to break that at any point and have to reach over to the mouse or reach over, look at the keyboards, look at the computer screen. You just want to get on with what you're doing, Half the time if you have to go, set loop points and things, you've already forgotten what it is you wanted to play. Well, I do anyway. I've got a short memory, man. I'm like that. But anyway, so what we have here in the transport page, we have the loop points that we want, so you can set your loop up if you wanted to do like let's say a 2-bar loop. Set your loop to be 2 bars. You can record in your loop. You've got the click track on and off, and you've got you can record the mode to be quantized mode on or off as well. You can set the pre-roll on or off. You can tap in a tempo as well, which I'll just show you quickly. Anyway. Lovely patch that's playing there in the background. It sounds really good, man. Anyway, so like I say, when you finish your looping, keep your 2-bar loop. You can move it on another 2 bars and carry on recording. So you just record in loops, bit by bit. Pretty almost like old drum machines used to work, back in the day. So that's really easy, really intuitive. And like I say, it means you can be sat in your element, recording and being creative without having to even look at the computer, without having to move over and do any mousing or any QWERTY control. Moving on to the instrument itself. What you're looking at now is the instrument homepage, which is great for live performance. We put the important live controls on these encoders directly, so with 4 we're controlling here, and we've got rotary 1 and 2, and you've got button 1 and 2 down here as well. If you want to go a little bit deeper and edit the patch that you've got, sorry, I should say the patch name is in a big display right up here, and as I change the patch, you can see it updating. If I change the track, of course, that updates as well. So easy control of the track that the instrument you're controlling, which is done by the sequencer track that you're targeting in Reason, and easy control of the patch that you're actually playing. If you want to edit the patch and go a bit deeper, I don't think I said so, but I should say that every single control of Reason is in here right now in this controller. So I've just pressed edit to edit the patch. I'm faced with a few menus where I can choose some intuitive labels. So if I want to change the oscillator type, for example, I press oscillator and I can change the type. Notice that it doesn't just say what the type of I'm not just changing it, it actually tells me what the type of oscillator is. So I know here it's the wavetable, and it tells me that I'm controlling the table with this parameter here. It updates according to the type of oscillator. All of that information being there, it's unique to Panorama. That's not seen anywhere else on any other controller. But it does mean, again, that you don't have to look up and see what you're doing. There's no confusion and there's no guesswork. Everything's there right in front of you. And any confusion like that, any kind of unknown, that breaks your workflow. We've got to keep it flowing, man, and that's what we're doing with this controller. So that's the instruments. Another thing unique to this controller again is the mixer mode. Now, Reason 6 has come out with this great SSL style channel mixer, but it's very detached from the track sequencer and the mixer channels. Normally on any other controller, you either have to lock the controller to the master section to get hold of it, or you have to, you know, create a track for it and then track up and find it. It's a pain. Most people would, by that time, would be going for the mouse. Fair enough. That's what I used to do. On this controller, there's two ways of controlling the channel. Whichever channel I select in the sequencer, if there's a mixer channel that's associated with it, the motorized fader is going to map to that channel. It's not just a motorized fader, that gives you the channel control, of course. If I press the fader button, you see here, there's a whole channel map. We've got pan controls as well, and we can go through width and all of the different sends. Mute and solo for the active track, it's got dedicated buttons. You can set rights for automation riding, if you've got a track set up for automation. The other way that you can control the mixer is, of course, press the mixer button, and then you have all of the channels in front of you of the SSL mixer. So, again, as I said, it's all based, like it should be, on what the keyboard is controlling in the sequencer. Every single parameter of the SSL mixer is available to be controlled. So at the moment, I'm controlling, it says very clearly, the track name is synth bass. I'm on mixer channel 4, and it's got a subtractor in it. If I want to change the EQ for the subtractor, I just press EQ, and the selected track is always there in front of me. So if I track up, again, I've now got the EQ for channel 5, the synth lead, and 4. Really, really quick, really intuitive. A couple of button presses away to get to any parameter that you want in Reason. I just wanted to show you one more thing, because we have a few questions. One of the biggest questions is, why is there only 12 pads? So I'd like to deal with that up front, if I may.
Go for it.
Of course. Well, we all know Kong's got 16 pads. It's a great controller. It's also one device. Now this product, as well as being a Reason controller, is predominantly a musical instrument. It's an expressive way to create music, and the pads are part of that expression. Now, at the moment, I'm playing 4, and the pads are just in a kind of like a normal MIDI mode, if you like any other controller. So what I'll do is I'll show you a little bit more about what you can do. You get a big display of the note that you're assigned to. One of the very cool things is, half the time, if you want to find, you find the sample you want, you know, it's on that note, and I want to put it on that pad. How do you do that? Well, it's quite easy. Hit the pad, hit note learn, hit the note, and straight away the pad updates to map to that note. That's very cool. Another feature of the pads that's a bit unique is the scale mode. There's 12 pads because there's 12 notes in an octave. There you go, there's your answer. Actually, to be fair, the other answer is to put 16 pads on here, it would have been a lot deeper, a lot more expensive, because you don't just add 4 pads, you add the whole depth, you know, and the tooling becomes more expensive. The other option may have been to shrink the pads down a bit, but why compromise playability and performance for the sake of one instrument? Not to dumb down Kong, and I'm going to show you how you work with Kong now. Going back to instrument mode, go into Kong. Now, again, you have the instrument live page, and you can select the different kits for Kong. If I press beat, I can then play my beats in. If I want to control the extra pads that everyone's looking for, I just press row D, and it's up here. And row C is down here. This top pad here is controlled by the target of this button. So it's very quick to change it. You can control all 16 pads from these pads. You can also control, which is great for live performance, solos and mutes for the pads. If I hit the solo button, pad solo, I can now solo these 2 pads, or these 2 pads here to I could solo these 2 pads here to get the let me do it like that. I'm heavy fingered, man. Solo the bass and the snare, for example. If you look at the mutes, then obviously every other pad is muted, and you can do that live very quickly. It's great, you know, like I say, great for live performance, and that actually goes a lot deeper in controlling Kong than any other device has gone before.
When is it going to be available, and when can people? Is it pre-orders and stuff like that? Is that coming through?
We're working on it. You know, we're looking at getting it out for a March-April release. You know, we're still hoping for Q1. $499 is the US retail. Is the US MAP price. It's what you should be buying it for on the shelves, hopefully.